Alright, guys, welcome back to the Blue Milk Sports Show. We're your host. I'm Scotty Tuhati.
As always, I'm Petey Boy Zane.
And I'm Patrick Toy O'Neill.
Thanks for joining us. We're going to do a quick review of last week's games. Week 6.
Week 6.
Yes.
Yeah. Before you get started there, Scott, I give up on predictions and everything. I don't know what is going on with this NFL league. Any given Sunday anymore. It's just the way it is.
Sure.
If you want, I got that movie upstairs. We'll watch it after this.
I think it's a little too late pressing for time right now.
Sure.
Alright, well, let me just beat into it. And I'm going to ask these guys a couple questions for last week's game. We're going to cover 6 games real fast. First game is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus Kansas City Chiefs. Given the Steelers gave the Chiefs their first loss this season, how do you think Andy Reid's taking that loss?
In my personal opinion, I feel like Andy Reid expected it. Andy Reid never plays good against Pittsburgh. I think in his career he's something like 2-5. Don't quote me on the record, but I know he has a bad record against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Tough game. Chiefs still probably the best team in the NFL, but you know, as Toy just said, any given Sunday, you just never know. I mean, the week before, Big Ben throws 5 interceptions.
Picks.
You know, and then this week they do what they have to do and give the ball to Le'Veon Bell.
Yep. And then what an unbelievable catch that Antonio Brown made on that touchdown.
Oh my God, dude!
You know, 2 guys had a chance to have the interception, and here's Antonio Brown, just a gifted athlete, the best wide receiver in the league right
Sure.
now. Boom, right in his hands, gone, touchdown.
And, you know, the sad part is that was like the icing on the cake for
Yeah.
for the game. You know what I mean? And
All right,
now
well,
it's
how
all
do you
good.
feel about Mitchell's hit on Alex Smith? Do you
I
think
mean,
that was a low blow there?
I didn't see the whole thing, but you know,
I thought it was nasty, man.
it is
I'm
nasty.
amazed he didn't get injured.
But you know, was it his momentum that carried him? You know,
No,
like, I don't.
it looked like it was deliberate.
Yeah, it did look deliberate.
All right,
I mean, the guy can try to plead his case all he wants, but it was that was a joke, man. You could just see the way he just ran right into him and lowered right into his knee, man.
you know what? Too, Alex Smith looked like he was gonna get ready to punch him in his head.
I know.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I guess he would know better than me. I only seen the highlight. You know, I
Right.
didn't watch the entire game, but like I said, Alex. You know, if it wasn't intentional, I'm sure Alex Smith would know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, the Chiefs are now 5-1.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know, there's no undefeated team in the NFL. It's a league of uncertainty.
Yeah.
Well,
You can't
It really is.
since we got there, the first undefeated team's first loss, why don't we go for the New York Giants and Denver next?
This is why I threw the papers. I mean, they had no wide receivers playing this week.
Sure.
And they're playing at Denver. You think, oh my God,
Who's
Like-
your running back too? You know,
right? Yeah, they Orleans Darkwa,
that's insane. And
You
he had
know?
a great game, dude.
Yeah.
His numbers were excellent.
and the tight end Evan Ingram had a hell of a game as
Sure.
well. I mean, knowing the fact that Eli Manning had no receiving core, and you figure, all right, they have this rookie tight end and Orleans Darkwa as pretty much their stars, and they go into Denver, and they just put an ass whooping on them.
You know, they went into the no-fly zone, and they came out winners. I'll
Yeah.
tell you what, too. JPP had a great game.
Yeah,
You know, he had a couple sacks. He was in there disrupting things. It was. Trevor Simeon is garbage, though.
yeah, I'm not a big fan of
the
him.
game early too.
Oh yeah,
They were leading 20-3.
Sure.
yeah, it was
The
unbelievable.
whole
man.
game.
Yeah.
And you're right. I'm not a fan of Trevor Simeon either.
But it's nice to have a plethora of running backs back
Sure.
there. Well, obviously none of them really showed up.
Absolutely not. Jamal Charles didn't do nothing.
C.J. Anderson,
C.J. Anderson didn't
Devontae
do nothing.
Booker.
Like, come on, fellas.
All right, let's jump to the next game, Pete. Minnesota Vikings versus Green Bay. How do you feel about Aaron Rodgers being out for the whole season?
Well, I'll tell you what.
This changes the whole dynamic of the NFC conference.
Do you think old Brett Favre's going to get a phone call?
Absolutely. It's fun to talk about, but no, even if he did get a phone call, I can't picture any scenario.
I mean,
suit up again.
I could see him getting up, waking up, and throwing his Wranglers on and running down.
Well, the head coach Mike McCarthy, he addressed that right away. He went nuts on one of the reporters. They were asking,
Kaepernick.
he said, "Did I not just answer that question a question ago?"
You know
It
what?
was hilarious.
You know what? And I don't think any injury is great, but you know what's great about this injury? It looks like the Eagles have a clear path. If they could play good every week, Eagles can end up being the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean, right now, as we speak, we can say that they are the clear-cut favorite to win the NFC.
Sure.
But, it's still so early in the NFL season, and you can't just jump to conclusions of saying, all right, I mean, obviously, yeah. I mean, the Eagles are playing on all cylinders right now. They're absolutely the team to fear in the NFL besides Kansas City. But Kansas City got knocked off the other day.
They can run the ball. I love it.
Yeah. But let's see if this continues after Halloween. It starts to really pretty much get down to the nitty gritty. Who can separate themselves in the NFL?
I agree 100%. Toy Halloween
is the mark.
Where it gets real.
Yeah. Yeah, it starts getting colder. And teams tend to shy away from, being tough and everything like that. And you get to see the dynamics of the defenses changing and the running games all coming into play. And you get to see who can separate the men from the boys.
Absolutely. And hold on, back to the Green Bay game, though. It just shows you, how great Aaron Rodgers is. Look how bad they played without him,
Yeah, but you know what? I'm not going to say Brett Hundley's going to be a savior or anything, but he's been in the system a couple of years, and Mike McCarthy feels confident. I don't know if he's just saying that just because what else is he going to say?
He has to say that.
But coming out of college, he was a pretty decent quarterback, and he has some athleticism there too. So I like to see. I'm pretty interested to see.
You know what?
I wouldn't still count Green Bay out of this.
You know what, Toy? I don't, because some great players have come about because of injury.
Right.
Tom Brady being the prime example.
For instance, absolutely.
Yeah, but he showed his talent in the very first game. He picked up the ball.
Yeah, but he still got his job because of injury.
Of course.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's go to Miami Dolphins versus Atlanta Falcons.
There's another reason why I threw the papers.
Sure.
And hey, I'm a diehard Dolphins fan until the day I die. But nobody in their right minds expected Miami to go into Atlanta and pull off this upset, especially scoring 20 points, 20 unanswered points when they're down 17-0.
That's insane. You know what? I have a better question. Who are the Atlanta Falcons? Because you know what? Last year at this time, they were the same team. And then they came back and they ripped off all those wins and they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Can they pull it back together to do that?
Well, they need
We'll find out next weekend.
Yeah, well, we need to see. They need to find an identity on their defense because right now,
They're garbage, dude.
Miami couldn't move the ball on the Jets or New Orleans, and then they went 3 quarters without moving the ball. Pretty much, there was pressure all over Jay Cutler, and then they found a way to. And the crazy thing is, in that game, after the game, Atlanta players were saying to reporters that they knew what plays were coming, and they still couldn't stop it. So I give kudos to Miami for turning it around.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
And they only played 1 quarter of football so far this year in the NFL, and they're 3-2.
I'll tell you what, too. I agree with everything you just said. And not only that, Vic Beasley came back last weekend.
Right, and we touched on that and said that was a key factor in the game, and obviously it really didn't matter. The J train was in the building, though.
Dude, I'll tell you what, they played great at the end of that game. I have my hat has to go off to Miami. I didn't think that they would win that game. They were down 20-3 at one point.
No, they were down
There's
17-0.
17-0.
Yep.
That's insane that they
Yeah,
came back.
they were
and
down
won that
17-0
game,
at
dude.
halftime and shut Atlanta down for the rest of the game.
All right, let's jump on. LA Rams versus Jacksonville.
Oh my goodness.
You know,
Game, dude.
like how we were saying last week, who would have thought we would even be talking about that game?
A relevant game between these two teams.
And then you look at Jacksonville. You know, they get had that unbelievable game the week before, and then you figured, you know, their defense is legit. They're for real.
Yeah, they're going.
Going into the game.
Then they're going up against this high-powered offense where you think, you know, defenses usually have the edge over a high-powered offense.
I was
so-
calling them
and they're-
Jacksonville.
Yeah. And they're at home, so it was like, oh yeah, like, you know, this is like a layup right here. Here you go. We'll just give the edge to Jacksonville in this one, and LA goes
I'll
in
tell you
there,
what, though, LA's special teams played good. I
Yeah.
think they had 2 special teams touchdowns.
right?
There was a interception return for a touchdown, I think, and a kickoff return. I think it was the first opening kickoff return in a long time. There's some crazy stat on it. I forget what it is, but 2 special teams touchdowns is big.
Yeah, that's the difference of the game.
Sure.
You know, and you know, you touched on it off the air, but Fournette, he had an unbelievable game.
Dude's looking
I
like
mean,
the real deal.
Yeah, I mean, right now he's the top candidate for Rookie of the Year.
Sure he is. And I'll tell you what, I didn't think the dude was going to be that good, but I was wrong.
I thought he was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to have an impact like he is right now.
Sure, man.
You know, I mean, obviously, you know, I was thinking Rookie of the Year preseason candidate was going to be Dalvin Cook, but unfortunately, he's out for the year with an ACL injury.
Let's move on to my team, the Detroit Lions versus New Orleans.
And we called it. We called it
And
last
you
week.
did call it a shootout.
Yeah.
I didn't believe it would, turn out to be that way. I thought it would be a more defensive game than anything. And
You know, there's
I was
just 2 high-powered offenses. Detroit, they do have a stellar defense,
Sure, man.
but you're going up against Drew Brees at home. It's almost impossible to beat Drew Brees at home.
You know what? Over the years, dude, he's magnificent at home.
Yep.
It's like he almost can't be stopped.
No.
Before we get off of this game, now I want to touch on something that we spoke about. Toy, you hit on almost every guy that you shouted out last weekend. The only guy I really hit on was Marvin Jones Jr. He actually had a pretty good game.
Yeah, he
in this
did.
game,
Yeah.
you know, but that was it for me.
Yeah, well, you know, it just it seemed like last week while I was just going through all the teams and all the players and everything like that, you know, I just had this feeling that you know, my number one guy was Austin Stefari Jenkins.
Yeah, he was. You were high on
And
him.
and I mean, just because this guy, he was such a tremendous talent when he was at Tampa Bay, and then he just got into drugs and alcohol. He had so many problems. The kid's only 25 years old, and he got let go. The Jets got themselves a tight end that, you know what? Looking at the stats, at the end of the year, he might have over 100 catches to end the year.
Dude.
And
They got to throw the ball to somebody up there.
and it's just a damn shame. I mean, what are the rules on touchdowns anymore?
Dude, that was a touchdown, 100%.
I just don't understand it.
You know what, Toy? If it's not the Patriots, is that a touchdown? I think that's a touchdown.
No, it's definitely a touchdown. I mean, I just
my
don't.
My point being is because it was the Patriots. Is that why it wasn't a touchdown?
Nah, I don't know if I don't know. I might get fined for this.
I mean, you got to look at it though. I mean, Eagles fans are trying to get a petition to ban Pete Morelli from calling games
I
here
know.
ever again.
No, it's
You know?
it's getting out of hand. I mean, really, like sometimes I feel like do you just throw away the playbook and just go with what the rules are on the field are going to be the rules regardless.
Well, that's why I posed that question. Is it not a touchdown because it's the Patriots that they're playing?
Right.
If that's another team, are they calling that a touchdown? You know, I mean, look, I'm a conspiracy theory guy, I guess, if you want to say that.
I mean, everybody thought going into the season too that the Jets were going to be a team that's going to tank because they need a quarterback, and I mean these guys are scratching and clawing and fighting their way any which way they can to, be a contender in the AFC.
And
Not
they are.
Yeah.
ASJ, he had a great game, dude.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what, you know what I like about that kid, because I'm like kind of one myself, a redemption story.
Yeah.
There's nothing better than a
Right.
redemption story.
Exactly. I mean, he was out there, for anybody to pick up in fantasy. Not that we're talking about fantasy right now, but since we touched on the subject, I mean,
Sure.
it seemed like across the board, anywhere you look, this guy was out there, and I'm like not understanding why this kid would just be sitting out there.
You loved him.
I mean, I was in love with him when he was with Tampa, and I just knew that he was rebuilding his career. The reason why I didn't draft him or anything like that is because he had a 2-game suspension, and I figured no one's going to draft him, so
Sure.
I left him out there,
It's
and
not
then
like
I
he's
wound up
Le'Veon
picking him
Bell
up.
or anybody, or an Ezekiel Elliott.
Right. Or he's not like a Travis Kelce or a Gronk or anything like that. But he's going to end up being one of the top 5 tight ends in the league at the end of when it's all said and done.
Right behind Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Before we come to an end, you guys want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yeah, there's a couple Southwest guys who watch us down there in South Florida. Georgie Hudson, he owns Aqualine water filtration systems, keeping the world's water safe.
G.O., what's up, man? I forgot to mention it when we were going over the Pittsburgh game, but I wanted to give a shout out to Toledo's out in Ridley. Anybody starving for a hoagie? I know most of you guys, from Southwest, we all know about Toledo's.
Yes.
Who doesn't? But any of our viewers that don't,
Give 'em a
make
shot.
sure you get yourself over there, grab yourself a hoagie, grab yourself some cheese balls, and you'll be living the dream.
Yeah, oh my God. He's not even lying about that.
Yeah.
Anyone else want us? Want us to get? Anybody want us to give you a shout out? Let us know. We'll shout you out.
Yes,
Until
sir.
next time.
For all you Game Boys out there.
May the scores be with you. Sweet. home.